So Richard, great to be here chatting with you around networking and what you're doing. How many years have you been in real estate now?
35 years.
35 years young. That's seriously impressive. And from a networking point of view, you've done really well building a network of friends, colleagues, people out there in the community.
Yep.
Love to have a chat with you about that to help others within Marshall White take on board your advice and the steps that you've taken on board.
Yeah, great.
Yeah? What's your overall kind of view or philosophy around networking?
I think I try to build friendships within my clients. So I always try to give them the best advice. I always try to be with them, socialise with them, whether it's at schools or a party, golf club or anything like that. So wherever I have an opportunity to be with someone and meet new people and meet old friends, I'll always grab it.
Yeah, fantastic. So you said a couple of things in there with around that friendships. The forward that I think you're familiar with, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. You really get to know that about your network, the people who you really connect with closely.
I just primarily enjoy people and enjoy the friendships that people offer me, and I try to reciprocate. So yeah, it's something that I nurture and always try to do the right thing by people.
Yeah. So this is face-to-face catch-ups, phone calls, checking in to see how people are going, and then, as you were saying before, networking kind of, community involvement kind of things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often you ring people up and just to see how they are, and sometimes they go, "I'm not selling," and you go, "That's not why I'm ringing you. I just want to see how you are," and I know a lot about people, so you can talk on, families, how the family's going, things like that. And what I try to offer is extra sort of benefits about their properties. If they want a valuation, I'm a valuer, so I can help them with that. Or I love renovating and giving people advice. Some people live in an old home and like step-toe, when really they should probably move on, and they don't.
Yeah.
So it's take them to that next stage.
Yeah. So with that then, Richard, that's really looking at them and where they are, and what advice can I provide to help them on their property journey? Yeah,
and give them sales information. People love to know what things were sold for in the street round the corner. Yeah. All that sort of stuff is, people will never hang up on you if you say, just let you know that XYZ sold for 2.5 million, but that creates sort of a nice conversation, and you can talk about other things, try to connect on a friendship level as well. Yeah,
fantastic. So if I was a new agent starting out and I wanted to put networking, squarely as part of my generating pillars to support, what would you be recommending they do?
Get involved with the community, whether it's charity or the schools. Definitely go to all the functions, meet the parents.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to go to the pub every weekend, and that can be a bit tedious, so I don't think that's necessarily what you need to do, and probably not a great reflection of yourself if you spend too much time there, not with your own family.
Sporting groups?
Sporting, I play golf, I play royal tennis, and it's great to be involved with those on weekends. Just anything, partying, you've got to host your own parties, and then people invite you to parties, so you can't always just be going to other people's parties.
Yeah, good point.
So, it's nice to do. Unfortunately, it's expensive to entertain, but so we do that. We're having a office party in our team for our colleagues, the people who have supported us over the year, to say thank you, and clients that have been great and referred work to us. So
great.
That's sort of a new initiative we're doing.
Yeah, fantastic. So setting that up, putting that in place, what sort of frequency of communication would you have with key people within your network?
I try to speak to everyone at least twice a year, but and try to categorise people into A, B and C categories. So the ones who are A, obviously you speak much more regularly, and B, probably monthly, C, twice a year. Plus we send out newsletters and sort of invite them to things. So yeah.
And the line between friend, professional friendliness and professional, how easy or difficult is that to maintain? Because sometimes we can become too much of a friend, if that makes sense, and well, you're a mate of mine, so I'm not sure if I want to do a real estate with you, kind of thing. So
that's very true, and sometimes I do suffer from that, where you become too much of a friend. I think you've got to make sure you always let them know about the professionalism and what you've been doing, but just in a nice way. You don't need a big note or anything like that. It's just, that there is a professional side to that. You've had some great auctions this weekend, or
good.
But the friendship to me is a primary.
Mm-hmm. So bringing some neat humility into the process, reminding your network that you are a great agent, you're doing great things in the marketplace, that you can help them at any stage of the process or help any of their friends. And I guess that would create quite a bit of requests, or could you check on this, or could you help me out with this? Pretty important that the follow-up process is tight on that as well. You have to be really, really sharp on that. Yeah. And always give them the best advice. The advice I always give is, if it was my property, what would I do? Yeah. And I think if you follow that as your line in the sand, then you'll always give the best advice. Yeah. It's not to do with you and whether you want to make a commission. It's about what they need to do to get on with their life. So if you could talk with a younger version of Richard, sort of the 35-year ago Richard, in terms of starting out the real estate career, what would be 3 pieces of advice you'd give him as being a great agent? Nurture your best clients really well. Mm-hmm. Look after your vendors and your buyers after you've transacted with them, because often you forget and you get on to the next project, and then you forget the people who actually trusted you. Mm-hmm. And just be honest. I think honesty is something that is so much easier. If you never tell an untruth, then you'll do a lot better. Yeah. If you get caught out in life doing that, you get a very bad reputation. So your reputation, your own brand, is so important. Building that and focusing on it. One of my favourite sayings is, always tell the truth, then you don't have to remember what you said. For me, that's very important, because sometimes I forget what I've said, so at least I know it's the truth. So. Fantastic. Hey, Richard, been great chatting with you, and thanks for sharing these insights around networking and building that reputation out in the marketplace. I hope it helps. Awesome. Thank you.